Okay, so this week I've decided to finally take out these cheap headphones I purchased from somewhere and finally make a build out of them. So yeah, I'm going to make kind of like a steampunk, cyberpunk battle tank out of a pair of headphones. And as you can see by the picture, I think it took me about 5-10 minutes I'd spent trying to get these headphones apart, only to realise that the actual screwdriver that I was using was broken. So every time I turned it, the actual thread of the screwdriver was just turning around itself. So after that embarrassing moment, I got another screwdriver that actually worked this time, so I could take the headphones apart. And as you can see, after 15 minutes of struggling with the cheapest pair of headphones ever in the world, I finally got it all apart, gutted it, and then put it all back together again. Yep, that's me. So once it was all together, I then chopped it down the middle. So I had two separate headphones and then glued them together like you can see in the picture. And then these were, I think there was some sort of little toy inside these baubles. They were only cheap. I have no idea where I got them from. They've been rattling around in my cupboard for ages now. But I wanted them to be like big tyres of a motorbike or a car. And this idea's been rolling around my head for a few weeks, well, a few months, and somebody kept telling me to build a train. So this is kind of like a train car sort of hybrid that I can finally build. So having stuck the two bits together, I was then looking to try and find a body for the actual main bit. Went through various things, was even going to use the black plastic bottle until I thought, no, I'm going to use cardboard because it would be easier because of the curves of the headphones. So I used some corrugated cardboard just to sort of give it a little bit of a shape, and then I could build on top of that corrugated cardboard. So once that was done, I just cut some bits of cardstock, and then using XPS foam, I just took that into the cardboard just to give it a bit more strength, and then I could just slot that on top of the actual headphones. So once I was happy with how that looked, then I just started adding more cardboard, just to sort of bulk out the main sort of shape of the battle tank, the cyberpunk. I tell you, I call it a steampunk war machine. There you go. It's the that's its new official title. So yeah, so I was just making bits of cardboard just to bulk it out, and then I'm going to go stick thin plastic over the cardboard that I'll give it rivets around the edges to make it look like metal plates. I used some more bits of XPS foam just to sort of like bulk it out a little bit, make it look like it had sort of runways, not runways, like a walkway, because then as I was building this I was thinking, well, if it's a bit steampunky, it's got to have a couple of pipes coming to and from, and a chimney, so I needed them for later on in the build when I was putting the pipes down. It had a little bit of a wobble, so I was just correcting the wobble with just adding bits of cardboard onto the bottom of the wheels just to stop it wobbling. And this plastic is from any sort of plastic. It's like the blister packs that you get from your miniature figures, or yeah, anything that's just that you can see through. That's a blister pack from your toys and stuff like that. And what I do is I just sand each side, mainly because it's easier for me to see when I'm cutting it, and also it helps to stick to the surface that you're trying to stick it on. And then I just systematically just went round and just cut everything into shape and stuck it onto the cardboard. Once all the plastic was down, then I just started bulking up, and what I'm doing here is I'm using a bit of felt to then stick some acrylic piping that I'd moulded out of moulds from Green Stuff World. I'd done a lot of them over the past couple of days and just used that as some sort of chimney, and then I'm using the plastic straws with the bendy bit just to put some piping along the sides. That hole was bugging me, so I found just some random piece of plastic from my bits box just to cover it up, and then I just used some more of the acrylic moulding that I'd pre-made just to give a little bit of shape to the build. And then I'm just going to run some more piping down around the sides. This time I used variation. I used some garden wire and just wrapped it around the straw just to give it some different texture than the other jumbo straws that I'd used as well. The blank bit on the piping was bothering me, so what I did was I just used a little bit of plastic pipe from a squeezy bottle, chopped it into little bits, and just stuck it onto there, just to give it a little bit of texture and to break it up. And then I brought out the sticky beads and bejeweled it with an inch of its life again, just to give it that steampunk look. And then once all that was done, it was ready to get hit with some just matte primer from a rattle can. And then once all sprayed, it was going to be the easiest paint job ever. Just going to go over it with a dry brush of metallic copper. And I'm not too bothered if I'm missing places, because I want that darkness contrast. Otherwise it'll look too bland if it was just all one copper look. So I'm just lightly going over it, and like I said, just not really caring where it's going to go. I hit a few times on the tyres, but I repainted them black afterwards, after I'd finished all the painting. Once the copper was dry, I brought out some gunmetal silver and just did the guns and the ladders and the beads, or rivets, just to give it that contrast and start to make things stand out a little bit. I also tried to give it some sort of rust around the edges a little bit, but didn't really work, so I just left it at that, and then brought out my my favourite go-to piece of kit, which is the silver Sharpie, just to go around the edges and just to give it the sort of like dinks and nicks, like it's the wear and tear of the vehicle. Also stuck some random military numbers on it. Doesn't mean anything, this one. I didn't do any graffiti on this one because I think I'm graffitied out after the last couple of builds. So it was just very simple. just random numbers, and then this is the me just doing with the Sharpie, and I'm just quite literally just smudging it along just to make it look like it's been wear and tear. And it's almost time for the glamour shots, so as always, thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, please like, subscribe, blah 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 blah. If you don't want to subscribe but you know somebody who might, by all means please let them know. Try and help this channel grow. And as always, I'll see you on the next build. Keep scratching that build, everybody.